Well, hello there, I'm Emrys from cruisehive.com. Well, where do we start in this week's cruise news update? We've got coverage on what happened on board the Carnival Freedom with their iconic funnel, along with the aftermath, and we've got updates from Royal Caribbean. It's time to make sure you're updated on some of the major cruise news from the past week, especially all the latest on the Carnival cruise ship fire. There are additional cancellations for the Carnival Freedom as the vessel will be out of service to repair the funnel in dry dock. We've also got news on the Carnival Conquest, also Carnival pulling out of Charleston, all Royal Caribbean cruise ships back in service, and let's think about what that sphere is, which was recently installed on Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas. Well, we've got plenty to get into, so let's get started. Let's start with some good news, as all 26 Royal Caribbean cruise ships are now back in service. The cruise line has also reached a major milestone by hitting 2 million guests that have sailed since first restarting operations. This began with the Quantum of the Seas sailing from Singapore in December 2020, the first to resume since the industry-wide suspension started in March 2020. Over the next 17 months, Royal Caribbean gradually phased in its ships all over the world, once again offering outstanding vacations in Europe, the Caribbean, Mexico, Alaska, Canada, and more. Rhapsody of the Seas was the final ship in the fleet to have resumed service, offering Mediterranean itineraries for the summer with a schedule that will take the ship to Israel, the Greek Isles, Barbados, and the Southern Caribbean through the rest of 2022. Now the cruise line is offering cruise getaways from a total of 24 home ports around the world, bringing guests to 137 different ports of call. It now means all the three major cruise lines of Royal Caribbean, Norwegian Cruise Line, and Carnival Cruise Line have their fleets fully back in service. And on to the big news from the past week, which no doubt everyone already knows about. Yes, we've also got some new developments on this. Well, a fire broke out on board the Carnival Freedom on Thursday morning, May 26, while docked in Grand Turk. The emergency response team did very well to extinguish the fire, which was located in the ship's iconic red, white, and blue funnel. It came as a surprise to not just guests on board Carnival Freedom's May 23rd sailing, but also to guests that watched from the Mardi Gras vessel, which was docked right next to the ship at the Grand Turk Pier. Well, thankfully there were no crew or passengers injured, and all services on board have been fully functional. As a result of the fire, Carnival Cruise Line cancelled that current May 23rd voyage, and after seeing the damage to the funnel, that was pretty much expected. The cruise line also announced the cancellation of the following May 28th sailing. On Friday, Carnival announced that an additional 2 cruises are cancelled to allow time to repair the funnel in June. So, the Carnival Freedom's May 23rd voyage out of Port Canaveral, which is when the fire occurred, was scheduled to end back in Florida on May 28th, with Carnival Conquest assisting to take guests back to Florida. That means the voyage is cancelled, but guests will not get back to the US home port until 2 days later on May 30th. Carnival Cruise Line is providing $100 of onboard credit per stateroom to make up for the inconvenience due to arriving back in Florida slightly later than scheduled and on a different vessel. Guests will be receiving a 50% future cruise credit, which can be used to book a sailing in the future, of course. The May 28th sailing is also cancelled out of Port Canaveral. The vessel was scheduled to depart on a 5-night Eastern Caribbean cruise with calls at Nassau, Princess Cays, and Grand Turk. It was also announced on Friday that the Carnival Freedom June 2nd and June 6th sailings are also no longer taking place, just to allow for more time to fix the funnel at dry dock in Grand Bahama. And we now come to what is actually happening to guests on board. As we now know, Carnival Freedom will undergo a dry dock in Freeport on Grand Bahama Island in the Bahamas. Repairing the funnel will take some time, and the Carnival Freedom is sailing there directly from Grand Turk. That means all guests that were on that ship are being assisted by the Carnival Conquest, which is a sister ship. The Carnival cruise ship has cancelled its May 27th departure from Miami to sail to Grand Turk and transport guests back to Port Canaveral. With limited airport availability on the island in the Turks and Caicos, it's pretty much the only option for the cruise line. Once all guests are transferred to a comparable cabin on board the Carnival Conquest, the ship will sail back to Florida with a scheduled arrival on Monday, May 30th. The ship will then head back to her home port in Miami to begin a shortened sailing, which will depart on May 31st. And all guests, of course, are being notified and compensated about those itinerary changes. Well, there is a lot of developments for sure in the aftermath of the fire, so do keep checking all the latest over on cruisehive.com, including all the compensation options for the cancellations. After 10 years of sailing from Charleston, South Carolina, Carnival Cruise Line has announced that its home port agreement with the South Carolina Ports Authority will not be extended beyond 2024. The end of Carnival cruising from Charleston is due to the continued development of the Union Pier terminal that will keep cruises from operating from the home port for the time being. Carnival Sunshine is currently the only cruise ship home ported in Charleston. The ship resumed service from the port on January 13th, 2022, offering 4 to 5 night itineraries to the Bahamas, calling to Bimini, Nassau, and Half Moon Cay, depending on the sailing date and cruise length. The city is scheduled to host several cruise ships and river cruises on day visits throughout 2022, including Royal Caribbean's Enchantment of the Seas, American Queen Voyages Ocean Voyager and Ocean Navigator, Celebrity Cruises Celebrity Summit, Princess Cruises Caribbean Princess, and more. A total of 104 ship visits are currently scheduled for Charleston in 2022, including both home ports and day visits. Charleston first hosted Carnival cruise ships as a home port when the now defunct Carnival Fantasy first sailed from the port on May 18th, 2010. This began a great era of cruising from the southern city, with cruises sailing to the Bahamas, Bermuda, the US Virgin Islands, and other Caribbean ports of call over the years. Royal Caribbean has released a new video with construction details on the yet-to-be-revealed 175 metric ton sphere that will be featured on board Icon of the Seas. The new class LNG-powered cruise ship is currently under construction at the Turku shipyard in Finland and will debut in fall 2023. And many details of the new ship are still unknown, including this mystery sphere. Little is known about the sphere, but some key details of its structure have been released. It now measures 46 feet tall and 50 feet in diameter and weighs 175 metric tons. Its outer shell is comprised of 578 aluminium panels, while the interior is lined with 9 miles of power and lighting cables and 1,323 feet of air conditioning ductwork. The interior also has steel mounting frames, but nothing is yet confirmed about the purpose of that framework or what this structure might eventually become. To move the sphere from its construction warehouse to be mounted on the ship, the entire structure was covered with fire retardant cloth and thermal wool, indicating some delicacy to its components. After being loaded onto a barge for transport, 2 tugboats directed the barge to the ship's hull, where the sphere was lifted into position by crane. It appears to be an interior structure on the still incomplete vessel, positioned at approximately midship, slightly off-center with respect to the deck's overall width. A total of 45,000 hours of labor have gone into the sphere so far, and we don't even know what it is yet. Well, what do you think it is? Personally, I'm guessing it's a zero gravity feature, but there are plenty of thoughts out there, and hopefully we will find out more soon. I want to know what you think this mystery sphere is. Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to know what you think. So those were the hot topics of the week. We've got even more cruise news coverage on cruisehive.com, including all about a mystery odor on board the Carnival Magic, Harmony of the Seas hitting the dock platform in Jamaica, new details revealed about MSC World Europa, Carnival in talks to sell its Seabourn brand, Norwegian Cruise Line cancellations, and plenty more all over on the website. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch the video. If you did find it informative at all, do feel free to like and subscribe to the Cruise Hive YouTube channel. I'm Memories from cruisehive.com. Thanks again for your time, and I'll see you all soon.